Howlers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Fade to Obsidian, your podcast about spaceships, relationships, and everything in between. We've got a very special guest with us tonight, TD Orel, author of Titan's Nest and Sigra's Roost. As always, I am Crescent, joined by Skipper.
Hello.
Greetings.
Welcome
Welcome.
on. Thank you
Thanks
for
so much for
coming.
having me. You know what? I'm honored anytime I get to chat with the Howlers. It's my favorite subgroup of the internet. As you know, I'm a Howler myself, and this group specifically has always been super supportive, and I feel like the Howlers have always had my back and been in my corner, and honestly opened some doors for me. So any chance I get to talk to you guys, I'm always feel privileged to spend some time with y'all.
Aw, that's so kind. Yeah, you
Yeah, it is.
are highly spoken about in the Howlers, just how lovely you are, but also
Mm-hmm.
your book. I was with Caroline Crunchy, aka Backstitch, aka Hearth
Yeah.
Weaver, this
Yes.
weekend, and she was going on about how great you are and how much she loved your books. So we're excited. I know.
She's so sweet, and she's such a gifted artist, and she's done some of my favorite fan art that has been done for the Titan's Nest saga. So big
That's
shout out.
amazing. Yeah, she's so good. I will put the warning out to everyone now. We might get into some Red Rising things. We'll try and keep it light, but you might get spoiled a bit. The first half of this, we will be spoiler free for Titan's Nest. And then when we hit that halfway point, we will give you a warning in case you have not uh, read the book, but we suggest you do. We suggest you do it anyway, but at that point, jump off and go read it
Yeah,
and then return for the rest.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Before we get into it, though, what are you drinking tonight? Having anything special?
You know what? I grabbed the only alcoholic thing in my home, which happened to
Works.
be. Feels like it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I'm not normally a fruity drink guy, but I grabbed a Modelo spiked agua fresca, and it's hibiscus flavored.
This
Ooh,
fancy. You
Yeah,
it is
really
fancy over
fancy. I'm gonna
there.
crack it open right now.
Perfect.
Do you know what these agua frescas? I play a lot of beach volleyball, and it's nice to have something light and refreshing, but both, going to get you slightly intoxicated. So I would, not a sponsorship, but I would recommend
I was
Modelo's
just gonna
agua
ask.
frescas.
It's like this is starting strong.
I like it. I also have a fruity beverage that sounds like it's along the same lines, but I'm trying to hold up the English side because we've got the both sides here. The
Yeah, Dylan.
apricot vodka cocktail from Dylan's, which I always
Oh,
enjoy. They're local to me. They famously have, it's over there. The hot caramel and gin, the bottle of gin that I accidentally took all the way to Tulsa and it lived in my car for a year, was Dylan's
wow.
as well. So if we're going to put sponsorship out there, I'm going to throw it out for Dylan's.
Yes, excellent. Dylan,
I,
sponsor Skipper immediately.
immediately. I like that. Crescent, what do you got? What are
Yeah,
you
I
hoping for as a
also
sponsor for?
have fruity drinks.
Nice.
I've
It's
I've got
perfect for
two.
summer.
Yeah, I have a
Awesome.
blackberry Summersby. Oops, blackberry,
Yummy.
and I have a pineapple and lime Summersby.
Ooh,
Ooh.
And if you know, you know on the colors.
There you
And we
go.
talk about that later.
Nice.
excellent.
We did get backstage drinking the Blackberry Summersby this past weekend because I was like,
Hell yeah.
Crescent does it, Crescent drinks it, and then I think she messaged you of like, these are good.
Mhm.
Gotta do whatever Crescent does.
Yeah, high recommend. Summersby, you
Yeah.
should sponsor me.
So, yeah, agreed.
We're all just gonna
Agreed.
get sponsorships. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great. That's how this works, right? Just say it
Yeah.
once, it'll be fine. Well, we'll jump in though. So as we said, we'll do the first half of this spoiler free. So for those who have not even heard of your book, can you give us an elevator pitch? I know this is the author's like bane of their existence, but what is your book about?
Sure. Titan's Nest is a young adult fantasy adventure. Every 100 years, every century, 6 dragon eggs fall down from the heavens above inexplicably and crash down to our world known as Dazarath. Upon hatching from these eggs, these 6 little dragon hatchlings will each bite a young adult, forever merging their minds and their souls and granting them an elemental ability known as Fury. And then they'll be shipped off to my world's capital, which is known as Titan's Nest, to train as the next generation of Bitten Knights. But when our main character's older brother, the Chosen One, in a twist of fate, is unable to fulfill his duty as a bitten knight, the younger, far less capable brother, Darren Duskfell, is going to have to secretly inherit his brother's destiny and his dragon, a dragon who cannot stand our main character, Darren. And that's the elevator pitch.
I love it. That's perfect. So
That's
concise.
a
Sweet.
great
Perfect.
elevator pitch.
Oh, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I've done it once or twice.
Yeah. Well, and if people jump on to, I was watching it today, onto your Instagram, you have a longer version of like how the magic system and all of that works. And if people want to check that out, very good as well. You have it down pat, all your marketing. It feels like which is great. Which is fantastic.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that was one of those videos that sometimes I do a video that is just like genuinely really fun to make. And I kind of go in with the expectation of like, I know this is going to flop, but I talked about something I really enjoyed. And so that was kind of one of those videos. And then, do you know, it did a lot better than I was anticipating. Same with, I don't know if you guys have seen my most recent Razor video where I'm doing, Razor Master
Oh
101.
yes. Yes.
That was a video that was so much fun and something that I just love to goof around and be whimsical with. And I was so stoked that so many people connected with it, and it actually did way better than I was expecting.
Awesome. I love it. I love that a lot.
Fantastic.
Um, so my first question, well, I guess that was my first question was your elevator pitch, but my big question for you right off the bat is what inspired all of this? Like, was this something you've been thinking about for a while? Did you have an inkling? Where was your inspiration for writing this one?
Like most kind of late 90s kids, I loved Pokemon and Digimon, and they were very influential in my life. And I loved the idea of having a little animal companion that specifically with Digimon, an animal companion that could grow into a more formidable size when needed. And so I love that idea that they can, through the power of friendship, transform into a big scary monster and destroy your enemies, and then shrink back down to my little companion size. And so I had been kind of like brainstorming this idea for forever since I was a kid. I knew I wanted it to be dragons. I've always loved dragons. I grew up reading fantasy, and I love all things fantasy. And yeah, I had written a couple projects that you will never find prior to Titan's Nest in college. And then right when I had moved into my own apartment for the very first time after college, I was living on my own, and we went into lockdown for COVID. And yeah, just moved out. I had been there living there for like a week, and lockdown happened, and I had a lawn chair and my computer, and that was literally like I didn't have furniture, I didn't have anything in my apartment. I just had my computer, and it opened up an opportunity to finally like start jotting down the ideas for Titan's Nest. And the first scene that I ever wrote was actually people usually find this interesting, was actually the concluding scene from book 2, or like the concluding action scene was the first thing that I ever wrote for the Titan's Nest saga. And of course, we won't go any spoilers, but if you are familiar with that big fight scene in Sigur's Roost, there's a lot of like dragons transforming from their big size to their smaller size, and some cool like action sequences that I think are really unique. And that was kind of like when I was like, okay, I feel like I have something unique and fun. And that's when I kind of fell in love with the Bitten Knights and that relationship with their dragons. And that is kind of what spawned it all and served as my North Star for the first book. So I was like, okay, I know we're going to end up here.
Yeah.
How do we get there? And so I think I drew the map first. So after I had written that scene, and then I started building out the world, and I drew the map. And with that, like came a lot of history and lore. If you're familiar with like the Verdor and the Swarmborn, that was kind of fleshed out in the map first before I started writing a lot of the narrative. And fast forward to today. Sorry, that was kind of a long answer to what inspired the first one, but
No, that's amazing.
We love a
So
long answer.
yeah, we absolutely. So world building, 100%. Like that sounds incredible. Of just it layering in on each other. That's really cool. I do also just the idea of like the cat-sized dragons and then making them bigger. And I almost loved when I learned of like, oh, they're not going to permanent like they will go back to being like these small little. I love that. I love that idea because cats and
Yeah, thank you.
dragons in my mind are like the same thing.
Right. Yeah,
Dragons
of
are just
course.
cats with wings. It's fine.
Yeah,
But
exactly. And
Big
yeah, I
is
love that they
sassy.
can fly you somewhere and then shrink down and they can go in and have dinner with you and
so convenient.
enjoy the evening with you. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, and you have, we're going to really get into dragons because I am dragon obsessed. Heads up. This was, I read it and I was like, oh my God, this book is for me because you don't just have like, here's one type of dragon. You're like, let's cover every type of dragon. And you said that
Yeah.
comes from your childhood love of dragons, I assume.
Yeah, yep, childhood love for dragons and all things fantasy. I'm also just a sucker for anything with a faction.
Okay.
Anything like any sort of media where I'm like, ooh, trying to figure out like where I would fit in, like what like group I would belong to. And so, of course, there are factions of dragons and which elemental fury they belong to, and then there's also subcategory, even more factions for the sizing of the dragons with Chariot, Ravager, and Titan. And so yeah, I again love dragons, and I always thought like, oh, I love that dragons shoot fire, but why can't they shoot anything else? There's so many things that cool things they could shoot.
Right?
Everybody always just does fire. On occasion, we'll see ice if we're lucky. But I was like, again, just a victim of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that consuming a lot of my thoughts as a child and as a young adult, and currently as an adult. And I loved in Avatar when you see someone from a certain region, you immediately know like which element they're connected to, and which area they're from, and like a part of their culture. And so that was the heart behind doing like the very six distinct kingdoms of Dazarath and the different elements that they're all connected to.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
it is amazing.
yeah.
Thanks,
Really,
guys.
really cool world building, as I keep saying. Yeah, and so thought out of. I am someone who, with high fantasy especially, loves when there's background and there's lore and there's reasons for everything. And you do a great job of providing that. And through smart ways, you don't just info dump, but it's like, this is why this character knows something, which is really cool.
Mm.
So, how many notes do you have? Like, do you just have document on document of like, this is what needs to be taking place in the background in order to have what we're seeing on the page, if that makes sense.
Yes, and unfortunately, I'm kind of a stereotypical creative where I'm not like the most organized and like, yeah, I'm not a very organized person. So unfortunately, which has proved really challenging, is a lot of my notes. A quarter of them are handwritten. A quarter of them are in my notes app. A quarter of them are in Google Docs. And, it got to the point that I keep having to buy more storage in my Google Drive because it's just so filled with nonsense. Um, where, yeah, there are times where I'm like, I know for a fact that I've written down like the distinct way something is supposed to happen, or there's like supposed to be a connection here, or yeah, world building lore, whatever it is. Um, and I'm doing the like search to text thing, like looking for keywords, and I can't find it anywhere on my computer. And then I'm like, okay, I got to search on my phone for a while. I'm going through my notes, can't find it. Eventually, like we'll find it in. Yeah, I collect leather notebooks too, and a lot of them are filled. And then I have to go real old fashioned and literally flip through and try to like find keywords. But especially with like the handwritten stuff, um, no, like what one notebook will have notes from something that I worked on 15 years ago that has nothing to do with Titan's Nest, and on that like on the same page as like Titan's Nest notes, like halfway through, like all of a sudden I'll just switch to a completely different project and start jotting down ideas. So it makes like finding information really challenging at times. It's something I'm working on.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm curious where the fourth quarter is.
I think it's just up here, unfortunately. Yeah.
just
And for
The
deep there.
unfortunately most difficult ones to find.
yes, which is really challenging to locate in there specifically. But
That's
yeah.
funny. That's great. Do you have as many notes about each character as you do the world building? Obviously, the world building with more depth, but your characters seem to be so deep and you are really good at being consistent with them. Is all of that knowledge somewhere written in the many places as well?
That's really cool to hear. I actually would say my characters have the least amount of notes,
Okay.
and my characters are often what I know least about in my first draft. And I'm a pantser, I'm a discoverer. It's funny, I think we're trying to move away from the term pantser. I feel like I hear everyone saying I'm a discovering things now instead of pantsing, which is funny.
Ooh, I
Um,
like that.
yeah. Um, and so, yeah, I usually have like a main motivation for a character and maybe some like key characteristics in mind. But yeah, I feel like I don't make a ton of notes about my characters.
Mm,
And um, when people are asking me like why Red Rising is my favorite series, um, I think that the characters are so distinct that like I know like if something happens, I kind of know how Victor is going to react to something. I kind of
yeah.
know how Severa is going to react to something. I'm not like predicting what's going to happen, but I know how they're going to feel or what they're maybe going to like the vibe of what they're going to say. And I think that's why so many people like love the characters so much because they feel so fleshed out. So I certainly wouldn't say I'm to that level, but that's something that I really admire and do try to replicate with my characters is that like when there's an experience, I hope that my reader goes like, oh, like Samson's going to be upset about this, or, um, Gerard's going to have something nice to say here, whatever that may be. But, um,
I
yeah.
I will say we won't get into it now because I want when we're talking spoilers. I have a lot to say about Gerard. I love him so much, but we'll talk about him after because he is amazing. But your main character Darren, like, is he you or does he reflect parts of you? Where is he coming from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think like the worst parts of Darren, I think like some of the best characteristics that Riker has, like
Yeah,
I can kind of relate to, and then like the worst parts of Darren where he's like when he's insecure, when he's like feeling anxious, he's like really sarcastic and kind of annoying. And I'm like, unfortunately, unfortunately that's me. Uh, I'm just like, just like try to joke about everything to like hide an insecurity. Um, but yeah, I think Darren grows into a character that eventually is not a reflection of me in any way.
yeah,
But the goal with Darren is that he's going to be like almost unrecognizable from book one Darren to book three Darren. And I think a lot of people like really start to see his growth a lot, obviously at the end of book one and
yeah.
big leaps and bounds in book two, which is really fun. I wanted to do a character that was like the growth was like really obvious and you felt like you got to see like every step he was taking and like seeing every obstacle he's facing and how he has to overcome it. So I don't know who Darren reflects if he's anyone specifically from my life, but I think like his sense of humor, especially like earlier in book one, definitely was I was leaning on more my sense of humor for sure.
I like it. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, Kristen,
So
did you have a question there?
how you mentioned it in the elevator pitch, but the I guess the hook is, for lack of a better term, a bit and switch. When did you decide to come up like when did that come about? Was that early on or
Yeah, I knew from the beginning that it wasn't going to be a chosen one story. I think a lot of like Dragon Rider tales that we all know and love. It's like pretty classic. Like the chosen one gets chosen by the dragon, and they're immediately like are like making doomy eyes at each other for some reason, and are in love, and everything is really great, and they just want to work together, and they want to save the world. But I just thought it would be really interesting if the wrong person was bitten and the dragon loathed him and they were going to have to overcome a lot of stuff before they were able to achieve anything. And that I think I knew that I wanted to have like a very like uncomfortable relationship between the two, and some of my like favorite scenes. Yeah, again, I won't give any spoilers, but when they're at turmoil, when they're kind of intentionally poking each other and pushing each other's buttons, I
Yeah.
think is really fun. And again, just like a unique thing I hadn't seen in this kind of story, where they're like genuinely don't like each other.
Yeah. I love it so much.
It works so very well.
Oh, that's awesome
So
to hear.
well.
Thank you.
Well, and
Cool.
go back to like me with the dragons are just cats with wings. Like just that grumpy cat who gets rescued and like hates their foster family. Like that's what it feels
Yes.
like. Like I guess you're giving me a shelter, but like I want nothing to do with
I
you.
could
Like
be out
leave.
hunting right now.
Yeah, why have you brought me in from the streets? Thanks. Like
Yeah. Totally. And
There's a
yeah, I do
king
think the
out
cat
there.
relationship is so
it's
funny. Yeah, I
so
just like
funny.
could be thriving in their mind. They're like like so formidable and they're so deadly. But the fact that you can pick them up and move them according to like on your own. Of course, you'll get scratched. But in theory, you could just pick them up and roll
Just
them in a ball and punt them if you wanted. Um,
yeah, just sleeping in the corner is my favorite. But all the times
yeah.
Darren's like, yeah, he's just like where he just sleeps all the time,
Yeah.
or he's like off in the bushes, and he's like, "We're no, we're not part of this lesson." Okay, that's fine. He's over there
Yeah.
now.
Guess I'll
It's
learn it
Doing
for
his
the
own
very
both
thing.
of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Very cool.
awesome. Um, well, at this point, I want to switch into spoiler mode. So, anything left to say for people who haven't read it as a like I'm just going to tell you to go read. Everyone do it. I loved this book. I
Yep,
audiobooked it, which was
me too.
great. Actually, that's a question before we get into that. Was that always the plan to get audiobook and how what was the process in doing that? Because very few indie authors do audiobook.
Yeah, I'd always wanted one, and I had no idea how to go about and do it. This, yeah, Titan's Nest was my first audiobook, and like I said, I've secretly self-published some other things before Titan's Nest, and never did an audiobook. But Amazon actually has this really awesome program called the it's ACX, and I'm blanking. It's like Audible Creative Exchange is what it's called. And if you're this is great for indie authors. I share this with people all the time. If your book is listed on Amazon, you can sign up for ACX, and any voice actor or producer can just send you an audition and read the first chapter and
Oh,
send it over. And they have some really cool opportunities where, so like for me, I literally couldn't afford to pay like $3,000 for somebody to, because it's 17 hours total, which is longer for a project. And so I think it was the quotes I was getting were going to be like $4,000, and I just at the time I was like, yeah, I honestly can't pay for that. So they do some really awesome things where they offer a royalty split program where you actually don't have to pay the audio producer anything up front. You just agree to a 50-50 royalty split. And for someone that was just like, oh, I just want to like find more readers. That was
yeah.
obviously my goal with this project as a no-name guy. I was like, my only goal is to find new readers. And so they also have the opportunities where you can go like totally classic contract where you pay them upfront, and once they're done, they don't take any of the royalties or whatever, however you work your contract. But the royalty split program is so cool for like younger new writers who are just like, oh, I just want to grow my audience. And in truth, yeah, the audiobooks have like quadrupled my audience.
Yeah.
I actually sell like a lot more audiobooks monthly than I do paperback or ebook, which has been really cool. It's how I've discovered a lot of new readers. So I'm actually really grateful for that program. And yeah, Jared was the first guy to audition, and I thought his first chapter was awesome, and I was like, yeah, man, if you're cool with the royalty split, let's run it. And yeah, he does a great job, and he did book
Yeah.
two as well. And
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah, because well, both of us audiobook almost everything at this point. It feels like because I
Yeah,
drive an hour and a half to and from work, so it's 3 hours me in the car. So that's where I
brutal.
audiobook. Crescent
Yeah,
audiobooks while working, right?
yeah.
So
I
it
work
just makes it
mostly
more
with my hands, so
accessible. Yeah. So you're
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes like people will reach out and like, or like people that I know in person will be like, "Oh, I listened to the audiobook and they say it like it's a negative. I'm like, I consume most of my books via audio these days. It's so convenient, and
Yeah.
obviously, like so many people are doing it in unique ways, and like it's such a cool way to consume stories. I don't know why people always think I'm going to be offended by that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
like
Yeah,
oral storytelling is the oldest form of storytelling.
Yeah.
yeah,
Come on.
totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
But I will say for our people that are maybe like considering picking it up, it does follow two perspectives,
Yeah.
and one person has kind of gotten sucked into this dragon worshipping cult that believes that actually the Bitten Knights are evil, and they've aligned with the what are known as the Swarmborn, and their objective is to sacrifice the Bitten Knights. And so we follow Riker's perspective and Darren's perspective as they both kind of one boy's training to become a Bitten Knight, the other's training to kill the Bitten Knights, and we get to see them like kind of slowly their destinies making a heading for one another, which I think is also a really unique part of this series.
Absolutely. Yeah, and seeing how again with your world building and, how everything the two sides are viewing some of the same things and some of the different things, what, you know, um knowledge has been hidden, what's being provided, like really cool to do it in those different ways. And also I'll throw out that, well, I don't know if this is a bit spoiler, but you have the main two POVs, but I also appreciated that you have, I think, 5 chapters where it's like one-off POVs of like,
Mhm.
here's just so
With
you
the
can
journals.
see, yeah, how other people are. And so I thought that was really cool thing as well. So really,
Yeah, I love those chapters where you get to kind of see from the other bitten wards, and
yeah.
yeah, it's so funny. One of my like earliest readers actually told me to take that out, and she was like really
Oh,
adamant about it, and she's like, I just think it's weird to like all of a sudden jump around to new characters. And I thought about it for a while, and I was really glad that I left it in because I hear all the time that people are like, "Hey, my favorite hotspots of the book were when we like got to see the other Bitten Ward's perspectives and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, I'm glad I trusted my gut and
yeah.
kept those in." And if yeah, uh, obviously book two we branch out even more and get to see even more perspectives, which is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everyone who has not read it, this is your warning to go read it and then return for the rest of this. But we're going to move forward with some more spoilery bits so that we can really get into it. So we're going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, all
Spoiler.
right. Full spoilers. I know. I was like counting down and I was like, I don't know what spoiler I want to kick off with. I had mentioned earlier, and it's funny because my first note is about Gerard, and I love him
Mm.
so
Yep.
much. Like the moment he comes on, we're going to go right into it. The moment he comes on, I'm like, who is this guy, and why do you
Yeah.
just have critters
Yeah. Why does he
everywhere?
have critter gadgets?
And
Critter
then
gadgets. Why
critter
does he have
gadgets is
Pokemon? Yeah.
Yeah.
what Pokemon is the perfect, yeah, that it's like
Yeah.
I laughed so hard about like, what do you mean you're like when he's like disgusted by the water and he's like, you've been drinking it for a week. Like, what is your problem?
Where did you think I was getting the water?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he slowly just gets bigger, like role and bigger role until discover it's like, you are not who it seems. Where did he come from? Like, did you always have a plan for him? Or was he just starting of like, hey, we need someone to rescue over here, like get him through this and then build? Like, where did Gerard come from? Because I love him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to hear that. People often, yeah, tell me that they really appreciate like kind of every moment that Gerard's in there. And um, I knew that I was gonna do, even though we weren't doing the traditional hero's journey. In a lot of ways, it is the traditional hero's journey, obviously. But I knew he needed a mentor, and I knew that I wanted him to feel really, really alone when he got to Titan's Nest, and that he wasn't connecting with the wards, and Tenebros hates him, and that he kind of wants to throw in the towel. And we've all kind of experienced moments of where we feel really alone and don't have anyone. And so for me, that moment, like I knew I wanted to have a big moment when he realizes, oh my gosh, Gerard's the Tarak Sheen and he's here, is one of my favorite moments in book one. And so I don't remember if, I don't remember if I had it like plotted out that I knew that he was going to meet this character on the road that was going to end up uh, playing a big role at Titan's Nest. I just don't know if I knew exactly what that was going to look like. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have a great answer for this, but I knew that it was gonna. I wanted a big moment of feeling really alone, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, someone I really like is actually here."
Yeah, he just gets. I love the idea of them having tea and stuff together when he just like
Yeah,
throws himself on Jared.
Mhm.
Like you just get to see that. Well, we often see the softer side, but he's trying to portray to the world that he's not. And then he's with Jared, and he's like, or Gerard, and he's like, oh, like, let's just hang
yeah.
out. My true father figure, because
Mhm.
the one I was raised with is an asshole. Like he
He
just
certainly
finally,
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
holy.
yeah,
But it is so nice, right? Like, if it's so nice to be able to be yourself, right? Like you said, like to
yeah,
be able to go have tea, and he doesn't have to pretend to be Maximus.
yeah,
He can just be nerdy Darren and be seen and relax for a couple hours.
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
It's always important to have somebody you can be yourself with.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yep. Well, and I mentioned it there. Of was it always the plan for Darren to like to be a bastard of oh my gosh, the Lord Commander, or is that
Under
something?
Forge.
Because with your plans, pantsing versus plotting, was that always in there?
Yeah,
Or
that was one of the few things I did have plotted out
okay,
because I knew he was going to have like a hybrid mixed fury, and I knew that I wanted it to be Black Lightning. That was like one of the first things that I had like, yes, I love your drink choices. Very cool. Uh, yeah, I knew that I wanted to be Black Lightning. I wanted to do something again I hadn't like seen. I didn't want to just be, fire or ice or water.
yeah,
And so from the start, I was like, okay, he's going to be born with a Shade Fury, and Father's seed is going to carry the Surge Fury.
that's so smart. Yeah, yeah, that was a cool twist, and how it lays out with at least at that point you've world built it that we knew through Riker of these things are possible of these hybrid uh,
Yeah.
powers, and then to have it that when he finally kind of gets it because it's been so long we have no idea who is Derek, like what is this going to be, and then when you finally see it it's like what the where did this come from, like we knew it's possible but how'd you get it, and so that play out was a great plot twist, like I did not predict that
Awesome.
one, so good on that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that
Very
was
fun.
cool.
that was the moment where I bought Sigra's Roost.
Very cool. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. Um, did you come up with a chart of like what the coolest hybrids would be so that it's like, okay, well, we need certain people to have these, mix, um, what would the coolest ones be? Or was it just what made sense in that time for what you needed their powers to do?
I had like Yeah, I actually had them all kind of planned out, and I have. Oh, I don't know if I want to give spoiler. Um, I had some cool ones planned out, and I'll say I haven't. I did. You haven't seen all the ones that I planned out,
Okay.
because yes, I did spend some time of like what would every mix be, and honestly, some of them like don't really work. I've had like fans like send me like full breakdowns of all of the different like what they think all of the different combos would be, and I'm like, I love your enthusiasm. Some of these don't work, but
Yeah.
um, there's some cool ones for sure. So yeah, I knew I also really wanted the gang of three of Ezra, Tua, and
Mm.
Riker to be like really formidable and all have something unique. And um, ooh, are we open to like very light Sigur's Roost
Absolutely.
spoilers?
Yeah, yeah. We can do some light ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that final battle that I mentioned, that was like the first scene that I wrote, is that the Battle of Cyan. I actually wrote instead of Tua, it was Ezra, so it was like a Diamond Dragon versus Darren before I kind of knew where everybody was gonna fit in. So the Diamond Fury hybrid was like that, and Black Lightning were the first two that I think I came up with, and then Riker was shortly after because I was like. I knew that I needed like the beacon ability. The beacon was just like I need a
That's
strong ability that's gonna kind of be the game changer.
absolutely. Yeah. The
Yeah.
idea of luring the other dragons away is like a really cool idea. That's like what's going to make them completely like defenseless. Well, yeah, take
Yeah.
away the dragon. So
Just
that's
take
a
them out
really
of the
cool.
game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take away their cats.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my god, it's a laser pointer. God damn it!
Oh, that's good. I haven't heard the laser
Oh,
pointer. That's so good.
Oh my god. I need so much fan art now of like true cat
Mm,
dragons. That's all I'm thinking now in my
yes, with
head.
Riker doing like
backstage.
a little laser on the wall, and the
Yes.
dragons are all chasing it. Yeah.
Backstitch, we have a job for
Yeah.
you. That's so funny. Um, my other question was going to be about the Swarmborn. How did they come to be? Do you love or do you hate bugs? Like, I'm confused on where you stand on the
Ooh,
bug.
yeah. I love bugs. I
Okay.
knew that I didn't want to do elves and dwarves. I knew that I was going to do like a kind of unique race. And again, it just kind of came from I've never seen this before. And I do like really love beetles. I think beetles are really cool, like a big like staghorn beetle. Um, and I just feel like we haven't seen them in fantasy in this way as these kind of like humanoid characters. And then again, I knew that I love factions, and I knew that there's so many different types of insects that there was so many opportunities for different factions for all the different regions. Um, and yeah, the Swarmborn, I think for me too, were like a pleasant surprise with how much I've like connected with the Swarmborn. And I've written a lot of like now little Swarmborn short stories that I think one day I'm going to put into like a full like Swarmborn anthology collection. Um, Getting just different stories from Swarmborn all around Dazarath, which is really cool. But yeah, I love something that is like I want them to be kind of formidable and look a little bit scary at that like, and I love that narrative that we set up that they're all they're like just mindless savages, they're
Yeah.
monsters, and then obviously we learned that they're far more intelligent than some of our characters first suspected, and have a lot of personality, which I think is really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and like the full language, which I love. Riker, slowly learns at least how
Yeah,
to, you know, communicate in basic ways with them. Of like that's really cool. Of it's all the clicks and things. But yeah, anytime. I mean, you can learn that if you're around something for so long, but to put in that effort to do it and just shows how deep it is. But it also is cool to me the bug aspect of it opens up so many opportunities because there's so many different like types and what they're fighting and all of that. So that's a really cool way of bringing it in that it's not just one enemy, so to speak, but you never know
yeah,
who's going to show up to battle. Like that's really cool. Yeah.
awesome.
Uh,
I think my favorite bugs are the ones that just explode.
The ash wings, yeah, they're super fun. I think they're awesome. I love, yeah, like the kind of just dumb, mindless. We're just gonna explode. I
yeah.
think it's really fun.
Yeah. Unpredictable. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it a lot. Uh, Crescent, you have any questions? I feel like I'm dominating as per usual.
That sometimes I feel like I'm just watching these interviews, but you're a great interviewer, so that's fine.
She is a great interviewer.
I
You're
just get
both
to
great
make my little
interviewers.
my little inputs here, and that's good.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
just coming off laryngitis, and he made the comment when I told him, and he's like, "Oh,
it's my time
will
to
I
shine.
actually be able to say something for once?" It's like, all right.
Hey,
Yeah, you actually had nailed basically all of my questions in our document.
sweet.
So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
no, unfortunately, I don't.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just contributed the laser pointer. That's it.
I like the
Yeah,
laser pointer. That's a good ad. That's a good ad.
that is, hey, yeah. If you're gonna jump in anywhere, I'm glad it was there.
Yeah. So, I mean, the most minor spoilers, but you said you have the ending of book two, was what you kicked off as. Have
Yeah.
you always known like where this whole story was going, or because planting versus plotting, is it a like we'll find it as we go kind of idea?
Um, Not when I had first started writing book one. I think when I finished book one, I knew like where I wanted to end book three. And yeah, the cool thing about I work backwards on pretty much all my projects where I
Mm.
know that this is where I want to end, and that serves as like my North Star to kind of guide me and like let things fall into place based on that. And so yeah, so the start of book one, I really didn't know where everybody was going to end up. I knew it was going to end. Book two at least was that concluding battle,
Mm.
and but now. Yeah, now I know where I'm going. I just got to get us there.
Yeah, I love it. We don't like to rush people here. You take your time. If you need the
I
next
appreciate
40
that.
years to give us quality, we'll give it. But are you like, whereabouts are you in the writing process at the moment?
I am not as far as I'd like to be, but I'm making like just consistent headway. My goal has been since the beginning of this year. Well, initially my goal was to finish my readable manuscript by July, essentially, which is it's been pushed. I'm trying to give myself more time because I did feel like I was rushing a little bit, and so now my goal is to have the manuscript done by the end of this year. And then hopefully have it in hands like late 2027. Those very loose. I appreciate you not rushing because, like I said,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to rush myself, um, and yeah, I've actually like taken a little bit of a break and worked on some other projects that have been a lot of fun to kind of step out of Dazrath for a little bit, and they haven't fully pulled me away, but yeah, I think it's just for me when I start to feel like I'm slowing down a little bit, it's really fun for me to step into a different world and like a little bit, there's less pressure and just to have
Yeah.
fun with a new space and then come back when I'm feeling a little refreshed. So
Yeah.
not a hard date of the end of the year, but that is the goal right now.
Okay. But yeah, we're here for
Nice.
quality. And so, take
Yeah.
whatever
You
time.
find the heart of your story.
Exactly.
I
And
love that. Yes.
I like hearing that of like dabbling in other things, and because I feel like anyone who's working on a project for too long, if you're just staring at the same thing over and over, like it's not going to be as good as just get inspired, get out
Yeah.
there, whatever else needs. So
Variety
that's great.
breeds creativity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
we'll be excited for when it does come out, and what we'll do is we'll have
Yep.
you back, and then we'll talk Sigra's Roost, so that everybody can then we'll usher you in to release the new one, and then we'll talk the new one.
Perfect.
I like
Yes,
it.
perfect. Love
Do,
it.
do we have a title for the third book already?
Yes, yes. Third book is Verdor's Throne.
Ooh, Murder's Throne. I like
So
Like I
the
it.
feel like I've
nest,
heard it, but I can't recall.
Yeah,
yeah, the nest, the roost, and the throne.
that's cool. I like it. I like the theme.
Yep.
It's snappy.
Yeah, that was like one of the harder parts of all of this, to be honest.
Oh.
I had finished book two and it was done for a long time, and I still it was just funny because obviously, if you've read book two, the roost is obviously a very crucial part of
Mm-hmm.
that story. But for whatever reason, it was right in front of me for a long time, and I was really going back and forth with title names. And a buddy like challenged me because I was bouncing some ideas of. He's like, just write down every possible title you can think of from like anything in the books, and he's like, and obviously it should work well with book three as well, and they should all flow. And so I had a list of like, gosh, I think over 100 just random words from the second.
Wow.
And then once it was funny, once I hit Sigra's Roost, I was like, oh, Verdor's Throne. And then I was like, okay, I know what all three of them are. And
That's perfect.
yeah, I think they fit well.
Nice.
Absolutely.
And do you have the same artist? Well, covers feel like way off, but like your covers are so beautiful that
Oh, thank you.
they're all gonna
Yes.
match I assume.
Yes, they're doing the third one as well. And just commissioned them like last month to do some. I wanted some Swarmborn art because I don't have a ton of Swarmborn art, and
Ooh,
so
awesome.
she is. They are working on a Scarab right now, maybe versus Samson Sunflare and his Dragon Scorch. So
That's
we might
cool.
see some new artwork very soon.
I'm gonna throw it out there.
Please.
Bestiary, give us a
Yes.
full
Yep.
book. Oh, let me get so excited I hit the microphone. With the
Skipper loves a
Swarmborn and
bestiary.
like, yeah, I love like, well, and then the dragons as well. It's like, okay, here, right? I would buy the shit out of that.
I
Those like old
agree.
school like what were they called? Oh, they're like encyclopedias for kids that I have the
Yeah.
Dragonology one. Like, give me one of
Yes.
those. But
Yeah,
like,
I absolutely 100% agree. As you've probably noticed, I do love coming up with weird little creatures or big creatures
yeah,
sometimes, like turtle tregs and all the dragons and the swarmborn. I would
yeah,
love to do a bestiaria. I'm just not a super gifted artist, so I'm hoping one day I'll be able to
yeah,
hire like the perfect artist that I'm like really excited about
yeah.
and be able to make a full encyclopedia would
That's
be
so
amazing.
cool. Yeah, all of Gerard's creatures that I'm
Yeah.
sure we don't even know all of them. I'm sure there's like some bug hiding, well, whatever hiding somewhere that you're
Several
like, yeah,
books.
what is that? Yeah, many bugs. Is there any other projects you mentioned doing about the Swarmborn? Uh, any other projects that you can see yourself writing or at least, giving small novellas or background stories about for this?
Yes. So the goal, depending on, um, yeah, just some career choices. Um, the long term goal, if you've read them, and if you've stuck around this long, I'm sure you've read them in the pod. Is I've mentioned the original Six Bitten Knights a lot.
Yeah.
And my dream is to do a standalone novel for all six of them and their origin story of when the eggs first fell to Dazarath. Do an origin story for each of them, and then like a seventh, like Avengers style, like them all coming together
Oh
to
shit!
wage war against the Swarmborn, like bigger novel.
Oh,
So, seven projects is the like long term goal.
wow.
Damn.
Of course, those six origin ones would be a lot shorter and just be like novellas. But yeah, then the seventh one would be like a big one that would showcase the full war, that first war against the Stormborn and like freeing humanity.
Awesome. I love
Damn.
that.
That is ambitious, and I look forward to it.
Yes, I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. What other things are you working on? You mentioned that you go
Yeah.
into other worlds when you're not here. What else are you doing?
I This is kind of under wraps, but
Mm.
it's fine. We can talk about it. So I did sell a project to a smaller publisher. I'm not going to say yet because we'll do
Okay.
like some like announcements and stuff. But yeah, about like a gritty sci-fi story about Los Angeles firefighters in the future that are fighting fire demons. And it's going to be
Cool.
like a more dark adult, almost like a little bit spooky sci-fi novel about these fire demons. It's this cult that is learned how to conjure fire demons by branding people in a very specific way, and then they send these people into like highly populated areas, and then they combust into flames and turn into these giant, scary fire monsters. And then it's about the government establishes, instead of a fire department, they make what's called the cryo department, which uses like all ice based weapons and gear. And then so it's
Cool.
about this guy's rookie year in the cryo department fighting these fire demons, which I'm super excited about.
That sounds
Oh,
very cool.
that
I
sounds
love that.
fucking sick. Sign me up.
Hell
Nice.
yeah. I'm also working on a pirate novel about. Do you love pirates? Oh, Skipper.
I'm
Duh.
Skipper. I'm a drunken
We got
sailor.
there.
My bad. Yeah, apologies. That was a stupid question. Um,
Dragons. We
a
got
pirate novel?
pirates. We like all the things. Yeah.
Yes. Where every 10 years, this labyrinth rises from the sea. And it's called the Sea Spine. And different pirate captains that all have like a different ability and gimmick come together to compete to be the first to complete all the trials within the Sea Spine and sink their enemies. And the first to reach the center um, becomes crowned the pirate lord or pirate king, if you will, and conquer the Sea Spine. And my goal is actually to have that done by the end of July, and I think I'm gonna do it. And That's really exciting. My agent and I are hoping to that will be like maybe my first bigger trad release is the goal. Has not sold to anybody yet, but when it's finished, we're going to shop it around, and we're hopeful that that will be kind of my first big trad moment.
That's awesome. I love that.
Nice. That's
I will be
Yeah.
amazing.
here for it.
That sounds awesome too.
Excuse
Thank
me.
you. Yeah, super excited about it. Um, yeah, it's definitely, like One Piece, Pirates of the Caribbean, kind of Ready Player One
Nice.
vibes of the different trials that they got to
Okay.
complete and solve, which I think is really fun. So, yeah, hopefully people enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, I am sure the
Yeah,
Howlers
absolutely.
will be here for it because we're all here for you,
They
which is
always
awesome.
are, and I
Yep.
greatly
Yeah,
appreciate that.
that's great. Well, the last big question that we ask everybody is what do you wish we had asked you? What question were you
Ooh.
like, I've always wanted someone to ask me this?
Hmm. Um, I'm gonna ask you guys the same.
Okay.
Um, once I answer the question here. Surprisingly, nobody ever asked me like what kind of dragon I would have if I was a bitten
Oh,
knight.
okay.
Mhm.
What kind of
So and
dragon?
yeah, thank you. One, thank you for
Yeah.
asking. Um, two, and then I want to hear your guys' answer as well. I think I would like
Absolutely.
to have a Um, I would do like a little bit of a hybrid Fury situation, of course. Maybe like a Shade Fury meets like Flame Fury. I really love Naruto, and I really love when Sasuke uses his like Amaterasu like Black Flame ability. So I'd want like a black
Yeah,
dragon with like some like red crimson stripes, and I would control like black flames.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
that
really
it
is
is really
cool.
sick.
cool. Thank you.
I'm like,
But
Crescent,
yes,
do you
a
have an answer?
skipper
What?
Crescent,
What?
I would
Hang
love to
on.
hear.
You're not done. You're
Oh,
not done.
Oh, sure.
oh,
What
oh,
Apologies.
class of dragon would
Yeah,
you have?
oh.
that's a good question. Um, I think I would be a Ravager class, like right in the middle. I want to still be pretty quick and mobile in the air, as the Ravagers are, but also like large and formidable. That just looks kind of scary.
Yeah,
So right in the middle.
I like it. All right, Crescent, what are you thinking? For me, the hybrid is
Well,
like that throws a whole like I'm like what would go together? Like I haven't.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got to find
please.
that document.
The secret document. I
Yeah.
also have to find it. It's
Or
in one
make
of
your
my
own.
Yeah.
four locations.
The Lost Quarter.
Yeah, the lost
Um,
quarter.
I'm looking forward to that being a location sometime down the road. Um, my first thought was immediately Titan class dragon. Like
Oh yeah, I can see you on
I'm
a yeah.
I'm a big
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
um, I don't I don't know for the Fury.
Well,
I
just based on your
really
profession, I feel like you should go Frost Fury as you work in
Yeah.
mhm.
refrigeration, but that's
Oh,
just
that's a good point. He's got
you
you
that's just
you
my
there.
raise a
initial
good point.
response. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always liked lightning as a power, just
Yeah.
across the board. So uh, if anybody has played or seen played God of War Ragnarok, there is an ice lightning bolt.
Yes, there is.
That
Yeah,
Ooh,
that is really cool.
I like that. I like that a lot. I I'm gonna go. The hybrid is like throwing me, and also I like, and usually my favorite element is fire, and that just feels too on the nose for dragons. That I'm like, if I can have anything, why would I? I really liked. Um, I'm not gonna pronounce her name right. Who's got like the plants? How do you?
Nefea, yeah. Nefea
Yeah,
Lilywale.
mm,
like I love that and the use and the healing. That was super
Yeah.
cool. Um, so I think I'm going to go with that. But then I'm like, how can I mix in something? I don't know, water? I feel like being a skipper, I've got to somehow mix water into this. Those plants and water go together.
Yeah, you can only control seaweed. There's your hybrid zone.
Yes.
The
Perfect.
monkey's
That's going
paw
to get me.
curls.
It's going to get me so far in life controlling the seaweed. Yeah. And then
maybe the water supercharges the plants,
maybe. There we
and then you're
go.
just a super good healer,
Yeah. Makes
I
them
love
grow
that.
even like
among other
higher and
things.
like
Very
yeah. That's what we're going
more
with.
liquid form poison.
I think I'm overthinking
Oh.
it, and I'm like,
Yeah, you
how?
overthink.
What? I also don't
Come
understand
on,
science, so I don't really understand what the
sounds
elements
unrealistic.
going together would do. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know how science
I
works.
I hate to break it to you, but there is zero science involved in my world
I
building.
guess. But there's gotta be like a
Vibes.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's solely vibes. There's not a lot of critical thinking going on. It's solely
I like it.
vibes.
Well, it's working well. We'll give you that. So it's working well.
Awesome.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This is so much fun. And
Yeah,
you're
this has been
welcome back
fantastic.
anytime. We'll definitely get you on to talk
Wow.
more about your books in the future. But also, if you want to come on and talk Red Rising, you're welcome to do that as well. We're right now going through a lot of death on our podcast. Everybody keeps dying in Red Rising. We have to talk about it. But, you can come on for
Some
some
people
of the more
repeatedly.
fun ones too. But yeah, thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us.
I would be honored to jump back on. Yeah, we didn't talk that much about Red Rising. We got all into Titan's Nest,
No.
and I love to chat about Red Rising. So definitely, if you have me back, I would love to chat about all the deaths.
All the deaths. There's so many. Pick your favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there really is.
Yeah.
there is a ton.
We're in the middle of recording Morningstar, and it's taking us 2 months. This is actually our halfway point of Morningstar. Is we put you in
Okay.
the middle to bring us a little bit more joy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
congratulations.
so honored that
Mhm.
I split Morningstar down the middle.
You did. Morningstar spoilers. I think everyone watching this. Well, no, maybe some of your fans have shown up for this, but you are
Well,
falling
We
between
we did
Roke
warn
and
them there would
Nerl.
be lights.
Yeah, we did warn, but yeah, Roke and Nerl's death is where
yeah.
we're sitting right now. So
Okay. Yeah. You guys are getting
yeah,
into the juicy stuff here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, as I said, you're welcome back anytime. Thank you everybody for listening. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on Titan's Nest. If you've made it this far, you would have finished it, as well as what you're looking forward to, because it sounds like you have a lot. So I'm excited. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.